Hello and welcome to Shastra. Let's start with this IR problem of multi-source reasoning type. This is describing a project over here. Basically, it's talking about a firm, real estate firm, which is trying to expand its horizons by going into research services. Till now, it has been mainly involved in purchase of land and hotels. So further down, it is giving this information about the rules and costs, and this is the entire breakup of the revenue. The problem is asking that ignoring the value of money and inflation, which of the following represents the closest approximation of the time needed to break even. So this will require you to analyze both the cost as well as the revenue. See, in any firm, when it starts up, it will involve some initial capital expenditure. And overall, after some time, when the capital expenditure is done, then there will be some running expense and there will be some revenue model. So we need to understand that. So over here, you see it is describing that all costs except labor is totaling to about 2 million for the first 3 years. So 3 years is the timeline when a lot of expenditure is being done, capital expense is being done in setting up the project. Over here also, this after this entire description of the different resources which will be hired, this is saying that labor will cost $1 million per year. So obviously this will also be throughout the time of initial 3 years as well as after that. All other costs after the initial 3 years will total roughly 150,000. So this will come only after 3 years. So if I see for the first 3 years, this is 2 million, and this will total up to 3 million for the 3 years. So I have a total of $5 million as my capital expenditure. So based on that, further, what will be the running cost? The running cost will be the 1 million will also stay, as well as the 150,000 will come in play after the 3 years. So my capital expenditure becomes 5 million and my running expenditure per year after the third year becomes $1.15 million. Now let's understand revenue. So first let's write down till now what we have been able to analyze about the break even and the initial expenditure. So my capital expenditure, that is $5 million, and running expenditure per year after the third year. So this is after year 3. This comes up out to $1.15 million. Now, in the revenue, we are given that, there will be little revenue generated in the first 3 years. There will be very little revenue in the first 3 years. The $1.5 million will be coming after the development phase. So this is clearly saying that my revenue starts after the third year. So initially in the first 3 years, there is no revenue. So what is my revenue per year after the third year? Revenue per year, we have different values. The first uh, value is 1.5. We also have $700,000 over here. So this is I'll to maintain the same unit, I'll again write it in only terms of $1 million. So this is 0.7 million. Also ad revenues are there, which is 0.25. You also have this revenue, which is for the research services. This is 0.2 million. And finally, you also have this revenue, 0.13. Just sum all these values and you will have $2.78 million. So overall, what you find is that you had, so just to understand how it is going about, you have this cost, which so we'll first plot the cost. It totals up to a total of $5 million after 3 years. So this is 3-year timeline. I reach $5 million. After that, I have a running expenditure of 1.15. So this was roughly rising at a rate of 1.67 million. Now it will rise at a rate of 1.15, which will be a little less, uh, which will be inclined little less. So something like this. Just I'm drawing this just to help you understand what's happening. So this is my model, 1.15 million dollars per year. So this is what is happening to the cost. The revenue is something like this. No revenue for the first 3 years, and then 2.78 per year. So what I essentially need to do is that uh, my running revenue per year should equal the initial expenditure in the 3 years that I have made. Only then I will be able to break even. So you see that this is a higher value, obviously, only then the break even could have been reached. So what is the difference? What is the revenue overall profit per year? The profit made per year is 2.78 minus 1.15, which is happening to be $1.63 million per year. So this is my running profit per year that I'm getting from year 3 onwards. And this is the $5 million that was my initial investment, which I need to hit or reach by this rate. So what is the number of years needed to reach this value? The number of years are $5 million over 1.63. If this was 1.667, this would have been exactly 3. This is very, very closely. This is 3.1 approximately, very, very closely. Since all your options are in whole years, whole numbers, so we'll take this as 3 years. You initially invested for a total duration of 3 years over here. So that's why 3 plus 3 is your final answer for this problem. So overall, you needed to correlate all the data that was given to you, and you needed to apply this basic logic that you need to break even when the capital expenditure that has been overcome by the running profit per year value, which you will get by subtracting the revenue from the running expenses, and that's how you find out this value. So that was the problem. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe to our channel.